Before this starts, I would like to say this real quick. If you are wondering if I'm using a voice filter, no. And I will leave a link to a video proving that I am not using a voice filter. After you watch the video and you still say that my voice is fake and I'm using a voice filter, hey, you're getting blocked. Anyway, enjoy the content. Witness the might that is Renegade X. You are now listening to another episode of the Black Nerd Talk. What is good? Welcome back to another episode of the Black Nerd Talk, where I, your humble host, your black nerd, Renegade X, will talk about things pertaining to gaming and nerd culture. So the three things I will be talking about this episode is the Dynasty Warriors origin gameplay that recently got released, my thoughts on the first Descendant, and the Super TP medals in Xenoverse 2. So let's get on with the first topic. Yes, they finally released some Dynasty Warriors Origins gameplay. And the game looks like it runs smooth. So in that gameplay, we are shown a younger version of Guan Yu, Zhao Zhao, Sun Jian, Liu Bei, and Zhang Jiao has gotten a whole new look. Instead of the ridiculous haircuts that he had back then, he looks more, what's the word? Kinda looks more like a Wolong character, more like a normal person. And I welcome this change. It looks like he's more serious now, and from that gameplay trailer he was shown to be kinder. Because he was helping citizens during that gameplay showcase. Cause in Dynasty Warriors, before this game, he was kind, but he was goofy too. That was the thing. And I didn't really mind the personality, but you know, it's time to switch things up though. Cause he was this over-the-top wizard before, saying stuff like, "There's one more disbeliever converted. Arise, my yellow turbans." And if y'all think I'm over-exaggerating when I imitated that voice, go check out Zhang Jiao and the older Dynasty Warriors games from 2 all the way up to 8, and you will see that I'm not joking in a way when he does sound like that. I see the 1 versus 1,000 has made a comeback and it looks much better. The combos that were shown so far, they look so much better. Just seeing all of the enemy soldiers just fly through the air with ragdoll. And I do like how it's a army versus army thing, because you have all of these soldiers with the officers and generics as well. We have a overworld map, and this game has a RPG element in it, because what was shown in that gameplay, the nameless hero was targeting Guan Yu, and then there was this choice that you could make. I don't know what it says because it's in kanji, and I obviously cannot read kanji. So that was interesting to see. The map layout for Shisui Gate looks amazing to me. It reminds me of the Battle of Hulao Gate from Dynasty Warriors 2 and 3, how that map was laid out. I am very interested in seeing what the rest of the maps are gonna look like. What's Hulao Gate gonna look like? What's, depending how far they go. Cause I read somewhere that they were not gonna go all the way to Wuzong Plains. I wonder what Xia P castle is gonna look like if it goes that far. And again, it's gonna have a aging system for the characters. So from that gameplay, Zhao Zhao, Liu Bei was didn't have any beards or mustache. I saw Yuan Shao has brown hair now instead of white hair. And I do like the fact that since this game is gonna have more of a darker and serious tone, the characters are gonna be more serious. And I'm glad there's gonna be characters that are gonna have redesigns. Hopefully, I pray that Zhu Chu, Zhang He, and other characters that look so out of place into anime, I pray they get a more realistic look, more serious look to them. Cause I didn't like Yuan Shao currently because he was too comedic. But in this game, despite him having his Dynasty Warriors now design and just having slight altercations, he looks like he's more serious, and I appreciate that. That's good right there. Like, everyone is more serious. Even the generics are more serious, as goofy looking as they looked in 9. But they are more serious, and that's what's up. It's finally good to have a change like this. Because back in those times, those were serious times. And there is a time and place for comedy, laughs, and everything like that. But hey, let's try this vibe this time. And I'm going to read a post from Reddit that has the information of Dynasty Warriors Origins. I will leave a link in the description in case you want to check it out for yourself. The protagonist does not belong to any single faction in the beginning of the story. How the story will turn out solely depends on player choices and non-battle interactions. So there's that RPG, there's the possibility of what ifs and etc. Basically, the protagonist is a free officer until he gets affiliated. The main story will not go as far as Wuzong Plains. So good. There are multiple if, route, and endings for the main story. Ooh, replayability. You will have a higher chance to battle together / control the Muso officers if you have deeper bonds and interactions. In that gameplay, they switched to Guan Yu, and his combos were just magnificent. Hitting hard. Got some flashiness in it, of course. But it just had that whole, I'm like, yeah, this is the moveset for Guan Yu right here. This is it. All weapons used by Muso officers can be used by the protagonist himself. You will have the chance to witness / play through other officers' stories after clearing the story for the first round. They prepare some elements that will intrigue the player to replay the story with different choices. Replayability, nice. How many Muso officers are playable depends on how many weapons set they are. You can still interact and increase bonds with certain officers off battle, even if you join certain factions, only unable to battle together. In the main story, a female protagonist, again, not the main, will appear. I wonder who will it be. There will be female officers where you can interact and bond with, but only slight romance elements are included. there will be several new boss fights that has the hardest difficulty that the series has ever had. Ooh, sounds like Lu Bu might be a challenge again. Because in the recent installments, Lu Bu, he's not strong as he was in Dynasty Warriors 4. Now everybody know how Lu Bu is in Dynasty Warriors 4. Ooh, people still have nightmares about this man to this day. But that's good though, because he should be a challenge again. It doesn't make any sense to be able to easily one-shot him. Shoot, in Dynasty Warriors 9, they tell you to defeat Lu Bu. All these years of Yuan Shao saying, do not pursue Lu Bu. It is crazy to hear him say, okay, beat Lu Bu so we can go to Hulao Gate and defeat Dong's Woe. Huh. Certain characters will change their appearance as they get older. You can use Musou officers' weapons when you reach a certain level of friendship with the officers themselves. Wolong Development Team did not have any involvement with Dynasty Warriors' origins, but some of the staff did involve the CGI cutscenes design, thus visually may be similar to each other. And this is a thing that I saw / heard. The Nameless Hero is gonna have that design that it has. There is no custom character creation and there is no customization for the Nameless Hero, which is honestly disappointing to hear. Cause they said the Nameless Hero is a historical figure, which, would be interesting about the reveal of this Nameless Hero if they go down this route. But it is disappointing to hear that there will not be any character creation in this game. Personally, I think this would be a good opportunity to put character creation in the game, because hear me out, you have Wolong, in which you create your own character and go through the Han Dynasty, but it's a Souls-like experience. If this game would have character creation, it would just be that, just not Dark Souls element, but more Dynasty Warriors with the Wolong-like graphics and stuff, and with the RPG, and then they have the overworld. They could have made this into a remastered Dynasty Warriors 5 Destiny mode. This is a huge opportunity, and I hate that it's being squandered. Would have been a good opportunity, especially with the replayability. Man. But I pray that changes. I pray that they change their mind about this and have the Nameless Hero just be a character creation, create a warrior. But only time will tell. On to the next topic. The first Descendant. So what is the first Descendant, you might ask? It is a free looter shooter. Yes, you heard me correct. Free. You can download this game right now and play it. So the game has similarities to Warframe. Gathering materials, building Descendants. You can put a catalyst on them to increase their module capacity and prestige them to make them stronger. Each Descendant has their own unique abilities, like Buddy for example. She uses electricity to do AoE damage, and she has a lot of mobility. Her personality reminds me of Tracer from Overwatch. Ajax, who is a tank and can put up on barriers. Visa, who uses ice for crowd control. The guns are unique. You have scout rifles, which is kind of like it's pretty self-explanatory. A rifle to which you can zoom in, it has a scope. You got beam rifles, you got shotguns, pistols, or hand cannons is what they call them. Submachine guns, you got it all. As for the story, it is what it is. I really don't have much to say about the story. But, as so far as the things that I like about this game has flaws. So, first flaw, typical games, it is buggy. The hook doesn't work properly sometimes. You hook onto something, and then the hook will just unhook, and then you fall. Or it won't hook at all. Sometimes the enemies bug out and just stand still and do nothing. Some Descendants are buggy as well, such as Jaber. They said one of his skills are not working properly. And then Eugen, he's fixed now, but he was bugged as well to where he would use one of his abilities, but he would be locked. Like he would not be able to do anything else. He would be stuck. The Colossi, these huge bosses that you must defeat in order to get materials and to progress through the story. These have got to be one of the most annoying bosses I have ever fought in gaming history. And I will explain why I say that. Not only do these bosses have 4 trillion health, they have gimmicks as well. They have these minions that are called ads. I don't know why they're called ads, but that's just what they are called. The Kingfishers specifically are the worst because they float around you, occasionally shooting at you, and if you get too close to them, they will push you and stun you. The minions that these bosses summon, the Kingfishers, remind me of that one episode of SpongeBob, when SpongeBob and Squidward were elderly men. And SpongeBob is literally flying around Squidward saying, "Yeah, Squidward, yeah, Squidward." That's exactly what the Kingfishers are like. And there are 3 Colossi that I despise so much in that game right now. These bosses make me want to start smoking cigarettes. The Devourer, the Pyromaniac, and the Hangman. The Devourer is pretty easy for the most part, until he spawns his healing pillars, which have a buttload of health in 4-player sessions. And he basically heals all his health back if you do not destroy the pillars fast enough. The Pyromaniac has gimmicks to where he shoots a fire orb that shoots additional fire orbs that track like crazy. Then he creates these fire rings that you have to avoid and teleports people in the center of the stage just to stomp on them. Then his frenzy state, you have to shoot the thing on his back that is sticking out. The Hangman, the worst one of them all that I have fought so far. Because he has a mechanic to where he has this device below him, and you see this red stuff in the tube that's filling up. if it fills up all the way, the hangman can do an insta-kill attack, which automatically fails the mission. You can't block it, you can't avoid it. In order to stop the tube from filling up, you have to go where the tube is at, remove it. But once the tube is removed, he will go into a permanent frenzy state until you put the cube back in the spot. But if you do, the red stuff will refill. When he's in the frenzy state, he charges up a super mouth blast attack, and you have to shoot the cannon in his mouth in order to stun him. Sounds easy, right? Well, it is not. When he fires out that mouth blast, the angle, the hitbox of it is so wide, you can hardly avoid the darn thing. And most of the time, it insta-kills you. What a lovely experience though, right? Very fun, right? Just thinking about this boss fight makes me want to grab a pack of cigarettes. If it is frustrating me, it is frustrating other people too, because it is gatekeeping people from doing any progress. We can have the best build that the game could offer us, and it's still frustrating. They need to do some rebalancing with the Colossi. Rolling does not grant iframes. You heard me correctly. Rolling does not grant iframes, even though in some games it's supposed to do that, but not this game. No. If you happen to roll into some danger or try to roll to avoid damage, you're not really avoiding it like that. So that is another issue that needs to be fixed. And one thing I would like to see is melee combat. Better melee combat. Because the closest thing we have to melee combat is the sub attack, which if it's full does a punch or a kick depending on the character. And then once it's uncharged, you just gunbutt the enemy. It has its usage to knock down enemies, but that's about it. I would like to have a sword, I don't know, an axe, scythe, give me something in case there's a whole bunch of melee enemies trying to get to me, so I can just cut them down. Because there are some enemies, the bootleg Kylo Rens, that have the little twin blades with them. They use melee. How come I can't use melee? Shoot, give me some gauntlets or something, boy. I start boxing like Muhammad Ali. Fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Trying to give them enemies the slumber. Yes, this game is still in its early phases. It has a lot to do. Oh, the monetization in First Descendant is crazy. For example, you can't just own a entire paint color palette. What you have to do is you have to get the paint things, you have to get multiple of them. And the reason why, because let's say I want to paint my Valby suit red. Well, you can use, if you have one of the little red paint things, it will only paint the arm. In order for you to get the full suit red, you have to get multiple of the paint things, which is not cool in my opinion. This game tries to get you to buy a lot of stuff, and I do mean a lot, because the ultimate Descendants are $100. the prime Warframe stuff doesn't even cost that much in Warframe. Like, it is crazy. But that is enough about the first Descendant. Time to move on to the final topic. Super TP medals in Xenoverse 2. So what are TP medals? Time Patroller medals is another form of currency in Xenoverse 2 that can give you certain items. So the Super TP medals are just TP medals 2.0. And I got this information right here from Reddit. I will leave a link in the description to that post in case you want to check it out for yourself. Super TP medals are server side, meaning you can only get them through online events and buy them with real money. TP medals were client side, meaning you could get them from the game. For example, expert missions and certain events like the raid events. Now the reason they have done this because more and more players had resorted to modding infinite TP medals, which of course affects sales for microtransactions. Because they got rid of buying regular TP medals, and then they are increasing the level cap to level 199. I don't know why they just won't go to 200, but okay. And the Namekian that increases your level the fastest way possible. I think his name is Tosak, if I pronounce his name right. The Namekian with the Master Roshi mustache and beard. He increased his price. Once you get to level 120, he will increase the price to 240 TP medals. And the best way to get TP medals right now is to do the expert mission 16 and 15. 15, which is Blue Vegeta, and 16, which is Blue Goku. 17 is also good since it grants extra 2 TP medals. That one has Broly in it. So this is the price of the Super TP medals. For 500 TP medals, it will cost $5 US. For 1,100 TP medals, it will cost you $10. For 2,300 Super TP medals, it will cost $20 US. For 3,500 Super TP medals, it will cost you $30. For 6,000 Super TP medals, it will cost you $50. Now, it doesn't sound bad until you realize how many of them you need to get. The full customized Fused Zamasu set for all your custom characters. All 8 if you have 8 of them, because each piece costs 300 Super TP medals. So 900 times 8, that is 7,200 Super TP medals. So now Tosak charges for Super TP medals as well. It's set up to where you have 3 options from the looks of this post. You can pay with Zenny, TP medals, or Super TP medals. But leveling up a single CAC from 1 to 140 using Super TP medals requires 5,912 Super TP medals. That is $50 per character. And if you are trying to level all 8 characters like that, you will be spending $399.92. So I am just going to say this. Greed is messing up a lot of these games. And I'm honestly getting tired of seeing this process. When a game first comes out at its early times, it is good. But then, the company gets greedy and start putting all of these microtransactions and everything. Making the grinds more annoying and etc. In order for you to get the money from your bank account and spend it on the game. It is so annoying, especially for the colorable outfits. A thing that should just be a feature in the game. Because the custom partners can freely do that. But you cannot do that for the custom characters. And then you wonder why people have resorted to modding. You wonder why. Because I want to get a gaming PC so I don't have to deal with all this greed that the gaming companies are doing. The all-out subscription to be able to mod the games to put the stuff that I want and do things that I want to do. And to add a different experience to the game. To be honest, Super TP medals do not need to be a thing. They should have kept the regular TP medals the way that it was. Unless they're going to add a different way of getting the Super TP medals, which I hope they do, and I hope they give us an easy way to level up, please. But this is going to be the end of the podcast episode. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Black Nerd Talk. Be sure to check out my socials in the description or comment section. Thank you for listening, and I'll see y'all next time.